Today we discuss the unit number 4th of BSc third year, that is drugs. What is meant by drugs? Drugs, it is the substance which is used to prevent the disease and cure the disease in human body. And in human body there are lot of diseases occurs, and the substance which is remove the disease and prevent from the cure of disease, then this substance is called as drugs. Drugs may be defined as it is the synthetic and natural substance which is used to relieve the discomfort and restore state as well as being in a body. Means these are the substance against which remove the disease, which cure the disease. Then this chemical substance is called as drugs. Now drugs, how drugs are, drugs कैसा होना चाहिए, how it is, drugs should be non toxic. Means if it is non toxic, then it is very good and useful for human body. And drugs should be drugs against, it has a, it is efficient for human body, and it is safe for human body. It should have minimum side effect. There is no more side effect. It should have minimum side effect. Then these drugs are good drugs. And after then these drugs are easily available in market. When we purchase it, then it's easily available in medical shop. And again, it should not damage the host tissue and in physiological process. This this drugs is not remove the these drugs are not remove, means not damages the tissue in human body also. So such types of drugs are good drugs and pure drugs. So these are the characteristics of good drugs. Now there are two types of drugs. One is analgesic drugs and second one is antipyretic drugs. Analgesic drugs are those drugs which reduces the body temperature in high fever. If there is any person has a high fever, then these antipyretics drugs which are reduces the fever, then this drugs is called as antipyretics drugs. For example, antipyretics drugs are an aspirin, paracetamol. These are the antipyretics drugs. Now second one is analgesic drugs. Analgesic drugs are those drugs which are relieve the pain, is called as analgesic drugs. Means if in body there is any pain in body, at that times this pain is removed by these analgesic drugs, and then this drugs is called as analgesic drugs. Analgesic drugs are two types. Number one is narcotics drugs. Number two is non-narcotics drugs. Narcotics drugs are the substance which produces the sleep and unconsciousness. But the non-narcotics drugs which are not be causes the addiction, and it's also not causes the sleeping and unconsciousness. The most importance of non-narcotics drugs, the example is phenylbutazone. Phenylbutazone is the example of non-narcotics drugs in analgesics drugs. Now second one is the sulfa drugs. Now these sulfa drugs is also those drugs which are used in sulfonylamides, means sulfoamides. These sulfoamides group containing drugs are called as sulfa drugs. These drugs which are used for these drugs are also with the less toxic, and it is useful in various infections just like pneumococcal and other infections also. This sulfamides is used for to cure the bacterial infections, and this drugs is also very good and useful for to cure the human body disease. Now analgesic drugs, the example is phenylbutazone, and this phenylbutazone is also the non-toxic drugs, and this is anti-analgesics and antipyretic. This is shows mild antipyretics and analgesics drugs. These drugs are used to protect the medicines, and this is also is you it, this is the less toxic, and this drugs is also used for nausea, to remove the nausea, vomitings, and it's also create the nausea and also vomitings, because it is these are the side effects of these drugs. So in this drugs is also useful for the skin disease, and also it can be arise the side effects of skin disease. Now the second drugs is anti-malarial drugs. Anti-malarial drugs are those drugs which are used to reduces the fever of which of means malarial coming from malarials, and the examples of anti-malarial drugs are chloroquine. Chloroquines are the examples of anti-malarial drugs. This chloroquine this chloroquine is used to prevent the treatments of malaria. It's also used for the prevent the transcriptions, and limits the synthesis of DNA and RNA in the parasite. Now, these drugs is also used for the to means for treatments of malaria in pregnancy, and it's also used, its main purpose is used to remove the malaria. This is about the drugs, and these drugs, and last one, that is the drugs means it is the chemical substance or any substance which remove or cure the disease, then this substance is called as drugs. Now it is useful for you student in your syllabus to study at the drugs point. Thank you.